What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend so far. And with that being said, let's jump into the TA. All right, so we're going to start off with the weekly time frame, then we'll go over the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and then we'll just talk about the reality of things and what is actually going on behind the scenes. All right, so like I said, we're going to start off with a weekly time frame. Let me just delete some of these random things we got here. We could delete that. That's not relevant. I guess we could leave that up. All right. So starting off with the weekly time frame, you do see your CCI over here in overbought territory. Your stochastic is crossing down from overbought territory, and your RSI is kind of just in this middle range over here. All right. Now coming over to QQ, this is what I really want to show you guys. So we are actually on a level here on our CCI. We are at 208 right now. Right over here, you hit, I believe it was 215. Yeah, 215.97. It was literally this top week right here. All right, you did end up forming the bearish divergence here by making your lower high here on your CCI. All right, I don't think that is going to be taking place here, and that is just because how things are queuing up. I don't think it's people are being cooked like they were over here, where nobody has any idea about what's going on here. All right, no, we know we've been in a bear market all of 2022. And honestly, how this thing is setting up is for to start the year off with one hell of a rug pull. All right, I don't know if it is going to be a continuous rug pull. Like, are we going to come down and break these lows? I have no idea, no crystal ball. But I do know that we do have the first part of the trend change underway. All right, the first part meaning we came up and we had a close over these highs. So we made new highs. We now need a higher low. We're going to have to come back here and test here. So if we start bouncing before we end up testing that consolidation, there you go. There's your first signal that you are having a trend change underway. All right. But all in all, what we're going to need to see is we need to come down here to this consolidation zone down here. We need to flip that and we need to come back up and we need to now break this new high up here. All right. And up here, that is where you have your trend change. All right. So anybody calling for a trend change right now, just know that, yeah, you got the first part of it, but guaranteed to any trend change, you need to have that pullback, which then, yeah, actually puts the trend change in place once you come back up and break the highs. All right, people are saying new bull market. I call BS. All right, things are probably about to get pretty bad. All right, the fact that we just saw Apple miss earnings, that hasn't happened since 2016. The fact that that took place means, hey guys, the most robust company is now also going underwater. Right, like obviously they're not gonna, like, these big companies are not going anywhere. They're not gonna really be under a lot of pain here, but it just goes to show you that if they aren't growing there, all right, there you go. All right, something is off. Something isn't like they are the top dogs out of any field. They're the top dogs. So if they're not doing well, there you go. Everything else should be doing very bad if they're not doing well. So there you go. Next earnings is probably going to be bad. All right, now that you finally have that starting, right? That's literally just showing, hey guys, demand is leaving. I've been telling you guys a soft landing isn't possible because in order for for prices to come back down, you need to kill demand. In order to kill demand, people need to be in pain. People need to not be able to afford things, all right? And yeah, that's only going to lead to tough times. All right. So moving on, let's go over to Mr. VIX. The Mr. VIX does have a triple bullish divergence. You have 1 point right here, 2 point, 3 points right here. All right. And as you see right here, you got that, and you did make a new low over there. And then you do also actually have a bullish divergence on your CCI. I know you guys can't really see it too well there, but you do have that as well. So you got the smaller single point divergence there. You got the complex bullish divergence on the RSI. All right. Then you also do have one on your stochastic. That is also a thing. All right. But yeah, all right. So as you see, we did bounce off of that. So now switching over to the daily. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's look at we haven't looked at a DIA and IWM in a while. All right. DIA, look at that, or not DIA, IWM. Look at that thing. IWM actually led the charge this week. It went parabolic. I was watching this bad boy. But yeah, you still do have a bearish divergence over there on your daily CCI, so that is something to note. But also the same exact case is over here. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. Are they cooking you right before they start sending you down like they did before? I don't know. Okay, your CCI went to 253 over there. So, I mean, you can't have another week of this, according to IWM, but I don't think that's going to be happening. But just look at that. This is like, are they about to do the same thing? Are they literally about to do the same thing to you? I have no idea, but that's why I say, that's why I said in the beginning of the video, like the way they're setting up 2023 to go is to start off with one hell of a rug pull. I don't know if you do get that one hell of a rug pull. We are going to have to see. We're gonna have to see what happens at the consolidation. Like I was just saying, like it really does come down to that. Let's get all these arrows out there. All right, I know I deleted them on the iPad. I guess they didn't delete here. By the way, guys, the written update is out. Just know that you know what, your boy did take 2.5 hours to write that. Okay, because your boy's iPad died when he was literally like just know that, like, if you are looking at the written update, that last paragraph I have, all right, like where we're talking about JPOW and then I'm giving like kind of the summary of everything, that last paragraph, guys, that is literally what I was writing, and then the iPad dies. And yeah, I did not copy any of what I was doing as I went along. So yeah, unfortunately I had to start from scratch and do that whole thing. So you know what, go leave double the amount of likes on that one, because it took me double the time. Boy, was my enthusiasm not in that second one. I mean, it's there. It started to, like, guys, charting really does honestly give me a smile, because I was so freaking upset. Like I was just, oh, I slammed my desk so hard. Because it literally died. I was on like literally like probably the second to last sentence there. Besides saying not financial advice, which, by the way, guys, for this video too, not financial advice. But like, yeah, I was furious. All right, it was such a good write up. It was literally such a good one. But as I started writing it again and just kind of getting back in the zone of you know, like doing these reports and analyzing the charts and you know, pretty much bringing everything together for that big picture point of view, you know, a smile started coming to my face. And by the end, I completely forgot about the fact that I was so mad that I had to rewrite it. So you know what? I'm happy to know that happened. I didn't. I was literally just sitting there pissed. I was like, "Oh Jesus, I can't be happy freaking writing this. I don't have any enthusiasm about this now. I gotta rewrite what I just did. Not okay." But you know what? It did turn out to be okay. All right, and now, you know, maybe because we put so much effort into that and so much detail, now we come over here and we get a shorter weekly update, which is, you know what, obviously it's better for everyone. All right, we get you guys out the door. I get to go get out the door. I get to enjoy my Saturday before I got to go to work. All right, got work at 4. Sundays I don't. Well, actually I do got work tomorrow from 6:45 to 1. So that is a thing. All right, that is a thing. And unfortunately, the gyms close early on Sunday, so that is also a thing. I don't know what time they close. I think it's 4 or 5. I go to the Edge. All right. Oh, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. I'm excited to go to the gym today, so I gotta finish up this video. All right. So moving on. All right, moving on. I think I already showed you guys QQQs. Like, what the heck is this, guys? It's literally in the same exact spot. I know we just left you guys off with IWM, but then you see, you got like this is not okay. This is literally queuing up to be what this was, where you just started to rug pull. All right, and then you come over here to Mr. VIX, and VIX is literally in the same exact spot. All right, we reached the low right here. All right, look where your low was over here. Your low was 16 bucks. We went to, it was 16.26 over there. Oh, no, it was actually 1634 over there, and your low over here was 1706, guys. Like, the market is literally pricing in less risk than we had, like, down here when you had like a wave of selling come to the S&P, down here when you had a wave of selling come to the S&P. The reason I'm saying up over here on VIX is just because when VIX goes up, S&P 500 is going to come down. They just move opposed to each other. All right, guys, if anybody doesn't know how the VIX moves, all right, which kind of conflicting with the 0 data expiration thing that recently came along. So I'm sure it has been messing with Mr. VIX, all right? Nevertheless, I do think fireworks are on the horizon, like very short-term horizon. Like maybe next week we end up breaking out. I'm going to be honest, guys. Once you break out from here, I think that would be someone's signal to take like midterm puts, all right? Instead of just buying months out on your puts, right? I think that would be the signal that, like, hey, it's finally happening right now. It's not like obviously you're not going to be getting the top over there on SPY, but you know what? I mean, these are things that Because I got to take into the next trade with me, like straight up. All right. Just waiting for, just seeing that, hey, the move is starting. These are things we could have waited for, or I'm not even going to say we. These are things that I could have waited for. Nevertheless, I mean, I'm literally just sitting on my hands now, waiting for all my money to come back. I don't know if all my money is going to come back. I'm going to be quite honest. All right. Once I do get over 30K, I am immediately just going to put into action my systematic approach that I told you. I got like 2 different systems that are also part of the same system now. But yeah, all right. So I am, if you guys do want to know about that, I think I discussed that in the last week report. I don't advise or recommend anyone go back and watch these. All right. Just because like they are going to be probably over 30 minutes long, and like, it's not like you can see what was going on back then, but it's not like it's relevant to what's going on now. Cause they are like the updates. That's like kind of the purpose of what I'm doing here is like, hey, I'm trying to be the only channel on YouTube where you could just come here for the update on today. Okay. It's not all these videos are not just all random. No, they're all literally just the update that pertains to today. All right. So people aren't going to be, the views aren't going to be rolling in weeks from now. No, it's the idea is like, hey, the information that's covered here on this channel, it's because people get to use it now. All right, now. All right. All right, let's go over the daily time frame now that we got all that out of the way. I know we only went over the weekly time frame so far. And then we also touched on Mr. VIX, all right? But starting off with SPY. Okay, so SPY has a shooting star candlestick. And then if you come over to QQ, okay, so it's SPX. Okay, so SPX formed a doji gravestone, a gravestone doji up here, which is a bearish reversal candlestick. All right, and then we have the shooting star here on SPY and QQQ, and that is also a bearish reversal candlestick. All right, and I did say over here, I said depending what happens here, okay, we have a island reversal slash a exhaustion gap, which has taken place in like I couldn't make the call there because I needed to see what happened here. But it could have either been a continuation gap or an exhaustion gap. And excuse me, talking too quick. I get the hiccups when I'm making these videos sometimes. All right. But yeah, since we started coming back down here, once we come over here and we close underneath that level, that will serve as an exhaustion cap, and we'll know that this is our top. All right. So we're going to have to see what happens there. If we come down, I want to see a close underneath this level. If we come down and we bounce off the gap fill, guys, then maybe the top is not in. I have no idea. All right, because again, no crystal ball. But you did fall 1.78% off of declining volume here. Now, it's not really much, and I will say this is kind of an explosive amount of volume here. Like, you haven't gone up here besides, like, these key dates here, okay, which I think this was CPI 7%. Holy sweet baby Jesus, this is crazy. Crazy gap up that took place over here. That's nuts. And you also had this one right here, I believe. But yeah, guys, you do have declining volume, and it's the same over here on SPY and SPX. And I think the only one that didn't have, so the only one that didn't have declining volume on the fall was DIA. Now, DIA, this is something to note. I don't think it really means anything, all right? Well, I mean, it does mean this, all right? It means that there's literally a sector of the market that's just not participating with the rally, which I think is completely suspect. All right, it would be like if this thing was rallying its butt off, which I think it was before, and the Nasdaq wasn't rallying its butt off, or was it over here on SPY? Because you double top there, and then DIA came up and nah, I guess it's whatever. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is that, like, this doesn't have to mean anything. I'm just showing you guys, like, hey, there is a sector of the market that's just like, this is a component of the market, and it's just not moving with it. All right, you have tech clearly moving. You do not have this moving at all. All right, so I mean, that's sus. Okay, it's sus. But nevertheless, it did hold this breakout. If we do end up getting this breakout, guys, maybe that does mean that hey, the high is not in. I don't know. Okay, I have no idea. And the high, not on DIA, but over here on SPY and QQQ. Okay. And yeah. All right. So moving on. Okay, you do have your CCI. Now your CCI did on Thursday's action. did end up canceling out all of our bearish divergences. It pretty much happened on SPY, QQ, IWM, I think. Yeah, it did cancel out the other ones, but it created a new one with what we got going on here. All right, so you now have a bearish divergence on the CCI right as your RSI comes into here. Okay. All right, so I'm actually going to answer a question right now before we move on. All right, so there was someone, I think it was the Weeble comments, so maybe we're here. I don't know. All right. I'm going to stop answering most of the comments. I'm going to be completely honest. Cross, just there are a lot of them. And I'm just letting you guys know, hey, I appreciate your comments. I'm just letting you know. I read all of them. I like them. So yeah, just letting you know. I appreciate them. I appreciate you. But yeah, so someone asked why I use the CCI, stochastic, and RSI when they all do the exact same thing. They don't all do the exact same thing. Okay, as you see, the CCI has been up here. Okay, whereas the RSI never reached this overbought territory up until now. All right, the RSI moves much slower than the CCI. Okay, as you see, we formed a bearish divergence here on the CCI as the RSI comes into overbought territory. All right, stochastic. Stochastic, by the way, I don't really look at the stochastic for divergences. If you guys have noticed, maybe you guys have noticed, I just don't call them out. They do form on the stochastic, like we do have a triple bearish divergence here, just like you did over here on the CCI. But I don't think they mean as much. All right, I like, as you can see, you could just kind of stay up here doing that. But when you form something on CCI, I know what the CCI means. All right, the CCI is just like, hey, all right, this volume of this buying and selling pressure, like what is overall points in history of this ticker? What has it done? And that is what it's done. All right. So like over here on IWM, so you have the bearish divergence here. You have this making a lower high than over here. Well, across all points in history, this wouldn't have taken place. All right, which shows you someone is bringing this price up. And whenever they stop holding the price up, the price is going to be restored. All right, the price is going to come back down to doing what it normally would have done. All right, which means you're going to have a drastic rug pull here. All right, that is just what is going to take place. All right, stochastic. I use the stochastic. I watch closely for these crosses. Okay, it is just a something that gives you confirmation of what the other ones are doing. Now, something I also like to use, like I have all three of them here for, is when they all are in agreement, you pretty much have a higher probability. Okay, they don't all do the same thing. They literally do not. I have been watching them. They do not all, hinge, like they just don't. All right, but when you have all three hinged down, that is typically a stronger message. When you have all three hinged up, when they are all in agreement, there you go. You have a stronger message that they're giving you. All right, so I hope that covers it. I know it's not the best explanation there, all right, but I hope it did make sense. Just know that the RSI and CCI, they both, I do use them both for those divergences, but the RSI moves slower than the CCI. Like you come over here to Apple, and Apple's another one where you are forming this bearish divergence as your RSI is literally going right up into the right up here. Right, notice over here your RSI didn't form any bearish divergence yet. You formed this bearish divergence on your CCI while your RSI ran up into overbought territory. All right, they both move differently. All right, so moving back into the daily time frame. All right, so over here now you can see on Thursday VIX ended up coming down and it was calling BS on the rally. Something I actually also noticed, I tweeted this out when it was taking place over here. DXY was also calling BS on the rally. All right, you come over here into, you can actually just look. I think this was the third over here to the second. All right, and as you see, you did end up having the sell-off over here. Now you did end up rallying up there. All right, but it was calling BS on the rally, and you did still end up, you had this rally going into the end of the day, and this is what I'm saying, it was calling BS, all right, and then you did end up selling off. Now you did end up rallying up, but either way, all I'm getting at is that DXY and VIX was calling BS on the rally. You ended up having a sell-off, all right? That is what ended up coming out, all right? When I see DXY and VIX in agreement, all right, that is typically when something happens, all right? And I will note that we do have a, I don't want to call this a hammer candlestick because I do believe the body needs, so for a hammer candlestick, the wick needs to be double the length of the body, and that is not the case here. But either way, it's kind of serving the same exact, like it's showing you the same thing. Okay, buying pressure is coming back into it. It is finally closing out the week. Now, I want to see what happens going into next week, since you are right here at this trend line. Clearly are respecting. Okay, I actually drew this, I believe, on the daily. They're right there. All right, so I'm going to be watching to see what happens there, but just know that when DXY goes up, the debt-based system like has less in the debt-based system. Like, all right, so guys, the way everything works, guys, all right, so everything is based off of debt. Well, what happens when the price of debt goes up? You can afford less debt. All right, so by default, you have E over here. And this is how this is a simple, very simplified version of this, okay? You have DXY. All right, you have DXY. E is equity, okay? When equity, so equity is based off of D, okay? Which D is just debt. It's not DXY. But it is a debt-based system, and the vast majority of what's being held right now in the equity markets is just, it's debt, all right? So when, when dollar go up, equity by default come down. All right. So just know if this is going like no matter what's going on outside of DXY, if DXY is going up, that just means equities are becoming more expensive. That is how I look at it. And that is my simplified version of kind of how this debt base, like how you can connect DXY to the market, I guess. I guess that's all there really is. But yeah, all right. So if DXY is starting its next rally, which I have been calling it out, we do have a bullish divergence here on your weekly CCI from this candlestick and this one right here. And then you are turning up off of your RSI, all right? And you come over here to the daily time frame. And this is something I was oh no, I was calling it out on the weekly, I guess, over here on the CCI. And the RSI, all right? You don't stay down here, all right? So like over the past few weeks, I've been calling this out every single weekly update, and also in a lot of my normal updates. And it's just because like, hey guys, we know like it's about to start turning up. You don't stay down here, all right? It's the same over here on the CCI. You do not stay down here where we are right here. It doesn't happen, okay? Let's just look at what happened last time, okay, from where that stochastic was crossing up, because that was all the way back here. That was like, it was back there. I'm not saying we're about to go on a, like, I don't think this is about to take place. I think we're probably going to come, well, I don't know, okay, I got no crystal ball, okay, I do think we're probably going to end up coming up, and maybe we end up forming a lower high there on DXY, and that gives life to the rally that I think the monthly time frame suggests. And if you come over here to the monthly time frame, you can also see this thing has room to come down. But as you also say, we do have the stochastic crossing up, guys. This is not good for equities, all right? This is not a good thing, but this is definitely something that I've been watching. But yeah, I'll be watching that. I will be keeping you guys updated on that. All right, so let's go over the smaller time frame. Oh, actually, something I forgot to mention is the fact that VIX closed out red alongside SPY and SPX, which gives us an 85% chance that we see a green day on SPX over the next 2 trading sessions. All right, so that is something that is in agreement with the SPY and QQ slash SPX and QQ falling on declining volume, all right, because all the volume is showing us is that, hey, like, the sellers in this case are not supporting the move. But I will say right now, all right, keep in mind that you had an explosion of volume this day. This isn't something that like typically is going to happen. All right, you come over here, like, look at this bad boy. All right, okay, that was a terrible arrow. All right, but look at that. Like, this is a like level of volume that isn't hit like very often. You hit it over here. All right, did you hit it over here? You did hit it over here. It was on this big day right there. But yeah, so I mean, either way, you do have SPY and QQ's volume not supporting that move lower, and now we get that buy signal here on VIX. I'm just saying, guys, this could mean that we either did not see our high, or we're gonna see it at least tick back up. Oh, I deleted SPX. Oh no. Oh no. Can't believe deleting our boy SPX like that. Oh no. All right. But nevertheless, guys, keep in mind you do have you have this reversal candlestick right here. All right. It's also on QQ or not QQ SPX with the doji, the graveyard doji candlestick. So, I mean, not the graveyard, the gravestone doji candlestick. Both reversal candlestick formations. All right. So I'm just saying, guys, the market gods are heavily trying to reverse you. I don't know if the zero DTE people are going to squeeze you anymore. All right, and I say they are doing the squeezing because I don't think this is not being caused by a short squeeze, guys. You come over here. All right, now this is something I want to show you guys. This thing is not at elevated levels, guys. We hit a 0.49. All right, let's just look at the lowest levels that have came throughout this market. All right, throughout the past few months, guys, we have not seen that 0.49 get hit. All right, well, guess what, guys? We just got a reading of 0.49 yesterday, or not yesterday, but on Thursday. So, I'm just saying, if a rug pull was going to take place, this is the spot for it to take place, okay? I don't think this is just oh, more people are loading up shorts, let's keep squeezing them. I don't think that's at all what's taking place right now. I think they're literally just trying to create the biggest bull trap of all time. Let's be completely real with each other, all right? You don't run 20% from low to high on a counter trend rally, all right? And guys, I'm gonna stop referring to this thing as a counter trend rally because I don't know what's gonna take place when we come back down into this zone down here, right? I do think it was a counter trend rally, but I'm gonna be completely honest. You broke out past your high, guys. All right. So let's just look at the rip you went on over here. All right. You had a 16% rip. So the counter trend rally just beat your normal rally. I didn't know. All right. So either this is the most massive bull trap that has ever taken place right before, with everything that we've been talking about, which I still think this is the likely scenario. Right. I think they were literally juicing you up. They're slow cooking everyone right now. And then they're going to pull out the rug and be like, hey, all right, this is the reality of the situation. All right. Your narrative, it's gone. Okay. I think it's very quickly going to disappear. I think that, the whole soft landing narrative, it's going to disappear, and it's fine. It could keep going on, all right? But at the end of the day, Powell said things that just weren't dovish, all right? He took the dovish tone, all right? His words were not dovish. They were hawkish, all right? This is something I think I said in my written update, or I said it in the first one, and then I forgot to put it in the second one. The tone, dovish. Words, hawkish, okay? Straight up, guys, there were not good things. So I'm gonna read something directly off of my my update here. All right, and still annoyed that the first one got deleted. I swear the first one was so good, guys. It was so freaking good, and now I had to put out this. But you know what? This is it's still probably just right behind it. All right. But let's read it, okay? So we got bullish things J-Pal brought up, and we have bearish things J-Pal brought up. We're gonna go over the bullish things, all right? I'm gonna let you in on the future, all right? There's 4 things on the bearish side. There are 10 things on the bullish side, and these are not all just they're not based off of the same thing, all right? He mentioned disinflationary process a lot, okay? At least 5 times he probably mentioned that, all right? But that doesn't mean you have 5 different bullish factors here. No. Okay, so let's go over the bullish things J-Powell brought up. Number 1, the disinflationary process has clearly started. Number 2, real rates are now positive. Policy is restrictive. 3, he's almost at the level where he'll consider loosening. Even though, I know, he has been loosening, okay? Or whoever's been loosening has been doing it. All right, I have seen several charts of the financial conditions. Again, guys, please let me know if you guys know where to find these things. All right, but I have seen several charts now of financial conditions showing that, no, okay, we are looser than where we were at the start of the rates. Okay, it started the rate hikes. Yeah, the rates have gone up, but there are other factors being eased here. Okay, is what I'm getting at. All right, they still have some form of QE going on and not QT. All right. But that is something Powell brought up on the bearish side of things. All right. So number 4, there's only one way forward for the debt ceiling, and that is to raise the debt ceiling limit. Yeah. All right, guys. So that's something right there. That's all out. That's bullish. All right, guys. But keep in mind, it's not being discussed right now in the media, so it's probably just, it's like the vast majority of the market, like retail market participants, they're not thinking about that anyway. So when it does finally pop up, maybe in like 2 weeks from now, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month, I don't know. It's probably going to stir things up because people are probably going to forget what Jay Powell just said, considering people forgot what Jay Powell said back here, which he didn't invalidate any of the things he said back there. All right. Like he really did not. I'll say he didn't have that hawkish tone. All right. That like I said, like the tone was dovish, guys. Like he was taking a victory lap. I saw it. He was smiling. All right. There was that. All right. But now we get the bearish things Jay Powell brought up. And these are the things that I'm just saying, guys, it's not bullish. All right, like straight up, I don't have a bias here. If there are bullish things to be said, I want to hear them. Okay, because I need to know. But like technically speaking, we are not. This is not going to be sustained. Okay, and now we have fundamentals being told to everyone. Okay, so it's not like everyone just forgot about what said. No, we have fresh information here. All right, so now that the fundamentals are completely agreeing, then yeah, all right, I am expecting this thing to start selling off. We also did just have Apple miss earnings for the first time since 2016. That's kind of, that's like, it doesn't get any more bearish than that. Like straight up, the top companies are missing. That's not good. All right. All right, so let's read these. All right, so number 1, ongoing increases will be appropriate. Number 2, inflation remains well above their long-term goal. Number 3, ongoing increases in target federal funds rate will be appropriate. Number 4, tight conditions required for some time. Number 5, substantially more evidence is required to be confident that inflation will continue coming down. Number 6, historical record cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy. 7, by many indicators, the job market is still strong. 8, they don't see disinflation yet in core services. 9, it would be very premature to declare victory. 10, significantly reducing the size of the balance sheet. All right. That's what I was just getting at. He like directly mentioned QT there, significantly reducing the size of the balance sheet. That's literally like direct. And that was like one of the first things he mentioned too. I just put it as the last. But like that is literally it's telling everyone like, hey, we're going to be tightening. We're not going to be loosening. Okay. QT is going to be taking place. I don't know how much QT has taken place so far, but yeah, like I said, if these charts are correct, guys, of these the financial conditions, no, guys, we're not tight at all. Okay, the market is not feeling the pain, and that could be why we are rallying our butts off. I don't know. All right, I do personally believe this is just this is I'm not gonna say someone because I don't. I think there are groups of like big money. It's not just one person out there, right? There's like a lot of there's a lot of participants of the big money. All right. And I think one of those groups is doing this with the 0 day to expiration and just like literally just rallying it. Like this isn't shorts, guys. All right. This is not shorts. I just showed you guys that like, hey, no, people are more bullish than they've been the whole, like this is a 6-month thing right here. All right. So in 6 months, we are the most bullish right now that people have been. That's like, that's what this is showing you. We get 1 year? Yes, we do get 1 year. Do we have any we did have that right there, all right? So we had the 0.49 over here. All right, so we are at levels that we were seeing in April. All right, so in April, what was going on in April? Let's take a gander at that one. What was happening in April? Oh, you started to oh, what happened in April? You have your thing all the way back down here. All right, and then look at that. Oh, you started your sell-off. Look at that. All right, well, guys, we're in the same exact spot. All right, everyone is complacent right now. I'm not going to say everyone. Obviously, you guys know I've been looking for the reversal. 100% been looking for the reversal. I'm sure a lot of you have been looking for the reversal. But just know, guys, the people who have like aimlessly been buying here and somehow been making a crap ton of money, yeah, they're about to feel the pain. All right, yeah, I'm extremely confident in that one. Like straight up, things have been pushed to the extremes. But like in reality, it's exactly what I just read to you guys. Like straight up, Jay Powell, like yeah, the tone was hawkish, right? He mentioned disinflationary process is starting. All right, he took that victory lap, but at the end of the day, what he said was not dovish. Okay, it was not dovish. It was hawkish. Those are not good things. Those are things that lead to markets coming down. The equity markets coming down. All right. I can't really show you. I can't make it any more clear for you guys other than like what's really in this video. I can do what I did like not too long ago with VIX for you guys and show you guys, hey, when VIX is down here, this is when people are getting complacent. This is literally where rug pulls take place from. All right, you come over to your SPX, bring that over here. Let's come over here to Mr. VIX over here. All right, let's just, what is it, daily and daily? All right, you come over here, match you guys up with that. All right, come over here like that. Come like that. All right, over here. Ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba. So people think this is the bottom. We're about to somehow go on a massive rip. And by the way, guys, 16% run, all right? So, like, even if we're about to repeat what we had over here, they're still about to consolidate you and have these massive swings up and down, all right? Like, this is not something that will be sustained is what I'm getting at. Like, there's no chance this gets sustained, all right? Let's actually look at... Went from back here. Holy crap, guys. This is the largest rally we've had take place all, like, the whole mark. Oh, this is an SPX. No, it's not. Never mind. I take it back. I take it back. How did QQQ do? 24%. So that whole rally right here was 24%. This rally was 20%, guys. Like, straight up. This is, and that's why I said, like, I'm going to stop calling it a counter trend rally. This is the biggest move that has taken place the whole like bear market here. All right, that is the largest move to the upside that has taken place. All right, obviously you have this being hit by 4% there, but guess what, this went, how many days was this? This was 42 bars. How many days was this? It was half the time, guys. All right, this took place over like 2 months. This took place over a month. All right, that's what that's showing you. All right, this is not something that's doing that, and I can tell you right now, you're not going to be. Let's take this off. I think you guys get the point. Okay, when VIX is low, all right, that's when you should not be. You shouldn't be looking for a bottom. I'll tell you that much. All right. And the reason I know like this isn't about to be taking place is this when QE was announced. All right, guys, I just went over why like. Jerome literally told us, or not why, but how Jerome literally told us that, like, we don't have QE starting, all right? Like, nothing has changed. We still have confirmation that rates are not coming down in 2023, and they will continue to be hiked above that 5% mark, okay? The future federal funds, it's only pricing in, I believe it's like 4.8 right now. It's 4.7 to 4.8%. All right, so like the fact that the market is not pricing in even 5% shows that the market is going to get a shocker. All right, like when things like, I don't know what's going to cause the market to start pricing that in. All right, but I don't think the Fed is messing around. I think the Fed is not going to let inflation spiral out of control. I will say right now, I didn't expect him to give fuel to the market here. All right, did not expect that at all. I didn't think he would spark a rally at the top of a rally. Had no idea about that one. All right. But yeah, all in all, nothing was said that really changes anything. Everything is the exact same. It's bad. All right. And the fact that you just got the big guys missing earnings, that shows us, hey, what's right around the corner? Recession might be right around the corner. That's what. All right. So, like, I don't know what narrative it is going to be, but I do know that at some point we will go through a recession. So, are we going to be starting that one? Maybe. All right. So maybe. All right, guys. So I am going to be looking for a narrative switch, but the narrative switch probably comes with a big fat red day, and we haven't had that yet. You had this on Friday, but this was nothing. Okay. Compared to what we just rallied in the past 2 days, I think it was like 6%. 7.8%. Okay. So we need to come back down here, guys. All right. That's just what is going to need to happen. All right. Like straight up, this sell off was nothing compared to what we had the last 2 days. All right. So I don't think the selling is just going to let up. All right. We can take a look at the lower time frames now, since that's something we hadn't done the whole time. All right. Keep in mind, you still also have that target down there. Coming over to the 1 hour, because, you know, my channels are, they mess up. Okay. I don't know why here in QQ. I got to go over the 1 hour to reset that channel line here. You broke above your channel here. I want to point out how you're getting these reactions here. You got reaction there, held the line over here, reaction, boom, you closed underneath it. because you closed underneath it, I think you do end up at least coming down to test the bottom of this channel. All right, which is if you, let's just say you hit that on Monday. All right, don't know if you hit it on Monday, but let's say you do hit it on Monday, that would be around 296. If you hit it on Tuesday, that would be 297, 298-ish, around there. All right, but yeah, all right, you did have this bearish divergence going on here as you ended up rallying there. You had a little one going right there. All right, RSI did not form anything right there, but it is over there in overbought territory. You come over to the 1 hour time frame and you do not have, I don't believe you do have any bullish divergences going on. Yeah, you don't have any bullish divergences going on, so I would assume that you're probably going to keep selling off before getting any sort of rebound. All right, you do have this gap fill here at 303.43 on QQQ. We actually do. We have 3 gap fills all around here. So we have 288.36, 303.43, and then we have 322.08. I don't think this 322.08 happens now that the Apple just came and ruined the party. Okay. I was saying that the only way you come up here 420, 430 on SPY and come up and fill this gap was if Powell came out pretty much acknowledging the bull case. That is exactly what he did. He acknowledged the bull case in full swing there, full force. But the fact that like we did start turning down now off of like that's something bad, guys. There's nobody can argue that is what I'm getting at. Nobody can argue the bull case now that Apple literally just had a miss. All right, that is the biggest company having a miss. That's not okay. Like the people, or not the people, the companies, the businesses that are supposed to be like everyone flocks to in these times, they all just missed. That is so bad, dude. That is not okay. It is literally showing that, like, hey, if we're entering a recessionary time, it's probably right about now because, you know, you guys are like, they're missing. That doesn't happen. All right. Since 2016, Apple hasn't missed. Okay. And you have a 20% rip going into that. Now I know why they were holding you up, or at least why I think they were holding you up. I think they were holding you up into that. All right. So, like, there's that. But yeah, guys, I mean, things are probably going to get pretty bad. All right. But because you do have that gap over on QQQ, maybe you do end up having a reversal there, or what happens is maybe you end up, they bring you down on Monday and then they end up, bringing you back up, test that gap and you reject off that gap and continue on. Remember, you do have that VIX 85%, signal saying, that you are, or 85% chance saying that SPX will have a green day over the next 2 trading sessions, so we got to factor that into it. But that would also, like, I don't know, if it happens on Monday, that just means you're probably gonna push back up here. I don't know, but you would probably end up pushing back up to these highs. But logically speaking, there's no reason to be pushing up to these highs. Like I said, nobody can argue with that. The whole market just got told, like, hey, you guys, like, you have no excuse to be rallying now. That's what I mean, at least that's what it tells me. All right. Like, there really isn't. Apple, biggest company, miss. All right. Doesn't happen. But it did. All right. So, you know, like, also, you, like, if you want to look from a trend perspective, you have this up here. All right. You have your higher low right there. You have your higher high. We're going to have to see, is this your new lower high right there? I don't know. Okay. I have no idea. We're going to have to see where this happens. But I mean, either way, you come down here, by default, you will have your trend change because you have your, you know, you have your lower high or your lower low here. Okay. Well, no, technically, if you're using that as your thing over there, I don't know. All right. All I'm getting at is you have this lower high right here. All right. So this could signal the start of a trend change, and we're going to need to see what happens here. If one forms here, right, then we pounce back up there. And then make another lower high. You get what I'm saying. All right. But yeah, guys, maybe like maybe we end up coming down on Monday, and you end up coming down like that, and then it's relatively flat on Tuesday. They'll be over here, and maybe we just come up slightly there, have like a consolidation here, there. Maybe we form a doji candlestick right here. All right, and then we continue down after that. All right, and that would let SPY have that one green day, but it wouldn't be coming back up to take out that high. And the reason, like, I mean, you can't come back and take out this high. Like, clearly, you guys have seen what I have seen. Like, we are living in the most irrational market that I think has ever existed. All right, this is a clown market, but at the end of the day, I ain't gonna complain. This is what's gonna. This is literally what gives us our opportunity here. This is it. All right, so don't be complaining about the irrational moves that the market be having. Just try and figure out what you did wrong there, so you can not do it next time. All right. But yeah, guys, I think that is pretty much what I am going to leave you guys off with. We can look at a few of the channel darlings. All right. Same case with Bitcoin though. You do have this bearish divergence here on your RSI there. I don't expect this move to hold up there. I think if the market does sell off, I think Bitcoin's definitely going to be coming down with it. All right, you come over here, not sector watch, those channel darlings. All right, let's just briefly look at some of these bad boys right here. Netflix got back into its channel, ended up rejecting that on Friday. All right, look at right where that closes. Look at that. But nevertheless, on Netflix, you do have this bearish divergence going on here. You finally do have a bearish divergence. I remember over here, we didn't have the bearish divergence going on because you ended up breaking it right here. But you now definitely do with with the RSI as well. You also have the bearish divergence. Honestly, guys, I would say this would be the time to be shorting Netflix. All right, at least for the gap fill down here at 324.89. All right, which I mean that's a decent sized move right there. And the reason I say like, hey, now's the time is because you already do have the bearish divergence on the weekly time frame here. Let's see, do you have a triple? You have a triple. You do have a triple bearish divergence going on the BCI right here. All right. Right as your weekly RSI pushes on up into the overbought territory. Guys, I am now saying Netflix is actually like a really sexy short to me. All right. You've literally came up here and rejected here off of that on with Friday's wick up here. Pushing up to 380. Look at that, guys. Look at that. That's beautiful, guys. It really is beautiful. All right, so they're on Apple, or they're on Netflix. Over here on Apple, you have the bullish engulfing candlestick right here. Now, I do want to point something out. You have this wick at the top of this big green candlestick right here that came off of earnings. Well, guess what, guys? This also came off of earnings. This plus 7% day over here came off of earnings right here. Yeah, if, like this would have been a massive day here if it just, didn't gap down. All right, it would have been an absolute massive day. But yeah, guys, we have the same exact wick we had over here that marked the top. All right, and that was at the same spot. Our CCI was in the same spot. All right, you came back up, and you did not have the bearish divergence over there in your top. Now you do have a bearish divergence on your CCI. And your RSI now is right over the overbought line right there. So I'm going to be honest, guys. Apple is probably going to start taking the market lower. I think we probably have this. This is probably your high here for Apple. Yeah, guys, we're calling out Apple when your RSI got under 30 right here, 29.71. And then over here, this is when I really started calling for the explosive counter trend move, which was Apple's bullish divergence there on the RSI. I was looking back, it just doesn't happen. All right, they don't happen unless you do end up going on these mega rips, I think I called them. But yeah, guys, the RSI is literally at the opposite extreme now, so I do think it does make perfect sense for us to start cycling back down. And again, I mean, hey, if the market's moving lower, then Apple's going to be something that definitely moves lower with the market, if not guides it lower. Just because of that. And if you guys do want to look at the earnings, there you go. There's your miss. You had that over there. That was not a miss. Look at this. Look at the green, 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 red. All right. When was the last red one? The last red one was literally in 2016, guys. That is nuts. Okay, that is nuts. Look at that. All right, and look at the last miss caused a minus 6% day on Apple. Guess what we got, guys? We got a plus 2.5% day. So look at that. Jolly. Jolly. All right. Come on over here to Tesla. Now, Tesla's something I actually have a put on. All right. Those Tesla puts, guys, they are the 145 March 17. They went down to like 300. All right. So I'm just saying, solid entry there. And I like had the zone up here, guys. I got with these individual stocks, guys. I'm gonna have to not really look at them in relation to the indices, because I will just I'll continuously just want to FOMO. If I'm looking at going short on the indices, and then I'm pulling out things here like objective shorts here on these like individual tickers, all right, like they're just not, it's not going to work out if I am. So I guess I'm just going to have to look at tickers just as like they're themselves, all right? You got this bearish divergence going on here, and you are in the zone. And like, this is what I'm getting at. When I first called this out, it was this day right here. All right, and now you can clearly see we literally came up to the zone, and that is where you got these two topping tails right there. All right, but yeah, guys, sexy short here on Tesla. You just now got your RSI popping into the overbought territory right here. You stayed up here like for literally just a few days. These last two times you got up in there, and then you started declining. All right, I do think this is going to be relatively similar. I think you're probably at least going to come back down here and fill this 146.41 gap. If not, you're going to come back down and you're going to finally fill this 94.67 gap that you didn't fill before. Now, you do actually also have right over here, if you want to go look on your own charts and put them up there, you do have two gaps here pretty close together. I don't know if Tesla does end up getting that low, which is why I took them off of my chart. But yeah, guys, like objective short right here on Tesla. So far, we got Netflix, Apple, and Tesla. All are looking primed for shorts. All right, there we go. Over here on Microsoft. All right, so Microsoft actually has the bearish Rami candlestick formation there with like all of these, like they're all going to look pretty much the exact same with their CCI and RSI. RSI coming up into just tapping that 70 level here. All right, cap 69, was it 69.17? Yeah, you got this gap up, and actually something I want to look at, oh, we got it up next, all right, is Goog. You got these two gap ups. All right, Goog is something I almost over here I wanted to buy puts on over here, and I ended up just not doing it. But look at it, look at that bad boy go. All right, like just imagine if you ended up buying puts over there for this gap fill all the way down there. That would be a $14 move you got to play there. But yeah, I do think it's probably not going to get this bounce here. I think we're probably going to end up coming back down. Maybe you end up getting the bounce here at this 94.40 gap fill right there. But all in all, like these Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, those will be the ones. Not like those will be the ones that what I was just saying about the I got to look at these individual tickers just like for themselves and not as part of indices. All right. Those are the ones that I will be looking at like in congruence with the indices because they literally move the indices. These are the main components: Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Apple. That's just it. All right. Let's actually move that right there. But yeah, coming over to Amazon. Amazon actually had like an 8% down day. Yeah, 8% down day off of declining volume. All right. So even though you had the miss, there you go. Still somehow declining volume. Don't really get how that one ended up happening. But there you go. All right, there you go. It's pretty much the same exact thing. You have your RSI coming off. All right, like these really are going to be like you're shorting the indices because these are the things that are literally moving the indices. All right, come over to Nvidia. Nvidia is something that went absolutely bonkers over here. All right. This is something we were looking at over here, and I thought you were going to end up getting rejected here and coming down for like a complex head and shoulders pattern. Now, I mean, now we're going to have to see what happens when you end up coming back to that trend line. All right. And honestly, like this kind of this, like if it is going to end up playing out like this, where you come back down here, like you have a few weeks of red here, come back down, and you flip that. That agrees with us on SPY and QQ coming back down to our consolidation, literally. Like we're way up here coming back down to our consolidation, literally flipping it. All right, I'm not saying that does happen. All right, that is what this would align with. All right, coming over here to our baby girl Mara. All right, the Mara is something I'm not even I don't care. All right, obviously, like, yay, like you guys know where I think this thing is heading to. I think it's literally heading. I think like obviously all of our oscillators are going to come back and cycle back down, but like price wise, I think we're literally going to come back down to this 350 gap fill area down here. Which I mean, it's not a gap fill anymore now that we filled it. But it still should. It's probably going to be a level that is respected, and regardless, even if that's not respected. Just be watching where we bounced last time. This probably where you're going to see the first wave of buying pressure step in. Like over here, you got this bounce up, then you came out and broke it. That's probably what's going to happen here. All right. Now, if Bitcoin ends up coming back down into our range here, all right, if Bitcoin comes into my target range here and doesn't just like double bottom where it did last time, All right. If it does break that low, I do think Mara is going to finally give us our 250 entry, which, holy crap, guys, is that a supreme entry? All right. Someone had left a comment saying, um, pretty much, I think it was along the lines of like, hey, you'd be very good just not playing options, just literally just buying bottoms. And yeah, I agree. That was literally the point of I got the Mar account. I made it a while back, like literally before this rip over here. All right. So like yes, I got to play that, but it was over here where the Mar account took birth. All right. But that Mar account is literally an account that I plan on growing into I don't know when I'm don't really take profits on it. But I plan on at least going to hundreds of thousands of dollars from the starting point of just about $5,000. So, I mean, it's not something that I want to be touching. I did end up putting on a call hedge that, as you guys saw, like kind of just went to zero. And this is why, guys, like you just don't listen to the other side, all right? When they're screaming from the rooftops, okay, when the crowd is screaming in your ear, you just don't listen, all right, guys. I just threw out $1,000. That's what happened. I threw out $1,000. If we do end up having a rebound day, that is signaled by the VIX, all right. If we end up getting that, then yeah, I'll get out of that hedge, but. No, now that I know what happened with Apple's earnings, no, we are, we likely just saw our top and we were likely coming down. But yeah, all right. Aside from that $1,000 hedge, I have not touched that account except for buying Mara. All right, guys. So I am very excited. I only got to play Mara with $5,000 this time around because we never got I thought we were gonna make it down to this 250 entry. All right. Little did I know is it would have been an absolute tear if I just went all in with the account over there at 350 entry. I don't care though. It is whatever. But yeah, I already do that. I have my trading account, and then I got that. Now recently, the trading account is definitely is decently much less than the Mar account. So that is something to be noted. All right, but this is like the reason for having the Mar account, which is like, hey, like you literally just have to sit back, relax, and like this is your security. That was kind of when I made that. It was kind of just meant to be my security. Like at all times, you could just sit on your hands, all right, and just wait for the next Mar entry. And that's kind of like so I made a video probably like 2 or 3 weekly reports back. I was saying like my worst case scenario really isn't that bad. Like it is bad, but it's not like as bad as many like may think it is. All right, guys. I got 2 jobs. I could easily save up I probably could pull like 2 to 3 extra. We'll say maybe 2, closer on the 2 side, just extra each month, just after all my expenses, maybe close to that 3K. I don't know. But my point is like I got that, and then like also the Mar account, the Mar account like that. Now I didn't think that was going to end up happening, but yeah, worst case scenario, it's like, oh, you just have the Mar account. Well, now, like, I mean, trading account, it's gonna come back to life. I don't think it's like no, it's not like I can sit here and do nothing now, and have that thing go back to like 60K. There's not a chance. All right. So that was damage that I have done there. But I will say now I just get to sit on my hands, watch this what I've been saying come to fruition, and in the end that when I end up well actually no when I end up finally selling and stop sitting on my hands when I'm taking profits, it will actually not be when I'm entering Mara. I now I'm thinking about that. But regardless, I mean, hey, it's not so bad is what I'm getting at. It's not so bad. How do I start talking about? I started talking about this by acknowledging that guy's comments, and yeah, I do agree with you. I do. Finding bottoms, honestly, it kind of is the like people don't look at it this way, but like, hey, if you got a large sum of money, you could literally just keep swinging this thing, even on the indices, dude. You can like, do you not see what QQ just did? All right, I'm not saying that. I like using Mara. I don't want to buy shares of anything else. All right, but like 20% here on $10,000, there's your $2,000. All right, then you would sell and you just wait for the next one. And there's like you can short if you want, all right, and do it that way. But like if you really just want to buy, you literally just buy when you see fit, all right, and just keep pulling out these like, hey, pull out $5,000 here, pull out $5,000 here, all right, and just keep compounding with shares on the indices. You can literally do that, guys. Now, me personally, I am going to be doing this with Mara. All right, just because like Mara is going to be tracking Bitcoin. It's going to be moving with Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin, I think went 50% here, just about 50%. Well, guess what, guys? You look at Mara. All right, and Mara ran closer to 200%. All right, nope, not closer, over 200%. All right. So yeah. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna end the video off here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are ready to kill it next week. And yeah, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.